It's a fact, guys. NASA has detected mysterious radio signals near the center of the Milky Way. However, it's hard to imagine that after a glow in the sky, we've received some random radio signals only to never hear about them again. Is it a new type of celestial body? Or maybe it's time to acknowledge that there is life on other planets. Stay tuned to figure it out. The first theory we have about the origin of these signals is that they could be a new type of celestial object, as pointed out by the international team of astronomers who first captured this signal while they were scanning the sky with their radio telescope in Western Australia. The signal was witnessed 4 times in a row in the short span of a few weeks, leaving these researchers with many questions but few answers. A few months later, the signals reappeared again, making the team realize that what they were detecting was very real. According to these astronomers, the device that was emitting these signals seemed to have no set pattern. While sometimes it would stay on for days or weeks, at other times it could turn on and off in a single day, a speed too fast to be coming from an astronomical object. Moreover, the timing was random. Even the signal varied in strength, sometimes becoming 100 times brighter. What is even stranger is that all of the unknown radio waves were aligned in the same direction that spun as the signal traveled through the universe towards us, making it completely different from all astronomical objects we know. One of the most effective techniques to arrive at the truth is to discard all options and possibilities until the right one is found. That is why this group of specialists began to analyze the 3 main reasons that could explain this phenomenon and got down to work with it. The first possibility was that these signals came from a pulsar, a neutron star that emits periodic radiation. Pulsars have an intense magnetic field that induces the emission of pulses of electromagnetic radiation at regular intervals. In other words, they are the hearts of dead stars, which rotate at a very high speed and send out pulses of energy regularly. Even after using the Parkes radio telescope, an instrument famous for detecting these strange stars, the researchers found nothing they could link to the source. After changing strategy and deciding to use the Meerkat radio telescope, an even more powerful instrument because of its ability to not only detect pulses but also image signals, they still got no answers. 3 months of silence followed this event, until one day a signal was detected. Although the signal had some of the properties of this phenomenon, there was no fast relay pulse, nothing to indicate that these signals came from another type of fast-spinning dead star, such as a magnetar, and with that, the first option was ruled out. The second theory was that the signal could have come from the massive flare of a star. However, if that had been the case, it is quite likely that the team could have seen its visible light, so this theory was not valid either. Therefore, the only remaining theory was that these signals were coming from a heterogeneous group of rare objects, which the researchers referred to as galactic radio center transients, also called cosmic burps. Something that was a great thrill for the researchers due to the rarity of these phenomena, but also great frustration. The truth is that no one knows what these radio transients are, since there are no two similar. Each radio transient that science has discovered in the galactic center is slightly different from the previous one, as not all of them emit regular pulses of radio waves. So, despite the team's best efforts, no one could find an answer. But what if the researchers discarded the most fascinating theory of all? If all this time they forgot to consider that perhaps, contrary to all common sense, this phenomenon could be... Although most researchers choose to not talk openly about the subject, maybe because of the controversy that the word alien arouses in most people due to some videos of dubious provenance, and television reports that seek to ridicule these theories, NASA came across intelligent life trying to communicate with us. If you were an advanced species of life trying to communicate with other planets, or you were trying to find thinking beings, the Galactic Center would be a very good position from which to send a signal to the rest of the galaxy, since you could cover the entire galaxy from there. Of course, there would be some questions that would have to be answered, such as the fact that the center of the galaxy is flooded with harmful radiation, which would make it impossible for any form of life to evolve in its center. But what if it were an unmanned object, such as a satellite? If you tried to send radio signals into the universe, you wouldn't need to be physically there, since you could send one of these devices to fulfill this function. Only the center of the galaxy could also be harmful to machines and equipment, or at least that's what we can say based on our knowledge of science technology. We don't even know enough about our planet or our oceans yet, so to claim that anything is possible or impossible in the universe would be jumping to conclusions. But let's stick with this theory for a moment. If there was a way that another life form could send us a signal from the center of a galaxy, and they had the technology to do so, we have yet to discover why. And that's the next question we're going to answer. If you remember the 3 possibilities that the group of NASA researchers thought of when they detected the signals, you will know that science is based on experimentation, even if you don't know what the results are going to be. Therefore, that these signals came from another life form does not necessarily mean that these beings would know about our existence. The signals could represent an experiment to discover if there is intelligent life in our galaxy, carried out by a civilization more advanced than ours, or they could also have been emitted to communicate with a different species, so it does not necessarily mean that they are trying to communicate with us. On the other hand, they could also be a rescue message. Today, mankind can travel into space, a completely incredible feat. Yet, just as there is a planet Earth, there are millions of planets and stars ready to be discovered. If only one of those planets harbors life, and that life has a similar level of technology to our own, what guarantee do we have that one of their rockets might not be lost? If so, the radio signals could be distress signals, which would also justify why they are coming from the center of the galaxy, where the great abundance of black holes and other hazards can make it a death trap. But given that the signals have occurred at different periods, I think this theory could be dismissed. Or it may be a celestial body that we have not yet been able to identify due to the size of the universe. What is clear to us is that the universe is a fascinating place, full of phenomena that our imagination cannot even scratch the surface of. With so many mysteries ready to be solved and so many advances in space travel technology, the next few years will undoubtedly be filled with exciting discoveries. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, let us know what you would like the next video to be about. I'll be reading you in the comments. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for future updates. See you soon!